Stop. Before you give up, let Stoicism help you change the game. Life can be incredibly challenging, and there are moments when the weight of it all feels unbearable. We've all been there, standing on the edge, ready to throw in the towel, convinced that the path ahead is too steep, too rocky, too uncertain. But before you take that final step to give up, I want you to pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. There's a powerful philosophy that has stood the test of time, offering guidance and strength to those who felt like they had nothing left to give. That philosophy is Stoicism, and it might just be the game changer you need right now. Stoicism isn't just some ancient set of rules or outdated thinking. It's a practical, life-changing mindset that has helped countless people navigate the toughest challenges with resilience and clarity. Founded over 2,000 years ago by philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, Stoicism teaches us how to find inner peace and strength, even when everything around us seems to be falling apart. So, why should you care about Stoicism at this moment, when you're on the brink of giving up? Because Stoicism is all about control. Specifically, controlling what you can and letting go of what you can't. It's about focusing your energy on your own actions, thoughts, and responses, rather than being overwhelmed by the chaos of the outside world. And in times of despair, this shift in focus can be incredibly empowering. Let's break it down. One of the core principles of Stoicism is the idea of the dichotomy of control. This concept is simple but profound. There are things within our control, and there are things outside of it. What's within our control? Our thoughts, our actions, our reactions. What's outside of our control? Everything else. Other people's opinions, past, the future, even the outcome of our efforts. Stoicism teaches us to invest our energy in what we can control, and to release the anxiety and frustration comes from trying to change what we cannot. Imagine the freedom that comes with truly embracing this idea. When you stop obsessing over what you can't control, like whether others approve of you, or whether your efforts will always lead to success, you free yourself to focus entirely on what you can control. Your attitude, persistence, your decisions. This shift can transform your perspective, turning overwhelming challenges into manageable tasks and giving you the strength to keep going, even when the road ahead seems impossibly tough. But Stoicism isn't just about enduring hardships, it's about thriving in spite of them. It teaches us that adversity is not just something to be tolerated, something to be used as fuel for growth. The Stoics believe that every challenge, every setback, is an opportunity to strengthen your character, become wiser and more resilient. Instead of viewing difficulties as roadblocks, Stoicism encourages you to see them as stepping stones, each one bringing you closer, becoming the person you're meant to be. Think about it. Some of the most influential people in history, from military leaders to artists to business moguls, have faced seemingly insurmountable odds. What set them apart wasn't that they had an easier path, but that they adopted a mindset that turned obstacles into opportunities. They embraced the Stoic approach, viewing life's challenges not as reasons to give up, but as reasons to push forward with even greater determination. And here's the thing. Stoicism isn't just for the philosophers or the great minds of history. It's for everyone. It's for you. Whether you're struggling with a difficult relationship, a career setback, or even just the day-to-day stress of life, Stoicism offers practical tools that can help you navigate through it all with grace and grit. So before you give up, give Stoicism a chance. Let it help you change the game. Start by taking stock of what's within your control, your thoughts, your actions, your mindset. Focus your energy there and watch as the seemingly impossible begins to feel achievable. Remember, the Stoics believed that no situation is hopeless, that within every challenge lies the potential for growth and victory. You've come this far, and you have the strength within you to go even further. Don't let the obstacles in your path dictate your journey. Instead, let Stoicism be your guide, showing you that with the right mindset, you can overcome anything. The game isn't over, far from it. In fact, with Stoicism on your side, you're just getting started. Lesson 1. Accept pain like a teacher. Most people avoid pain but offend during it makes you stronger. Then why pain is not your enemy, but the greatest teacher. It reveals your limits and shows you where you need to develop a stoic philosophy that teaches us to face pain and understand that suffering is part of life, that helps us grow. Don't shy away from discomfort. Use to strengthen your determination. I remember a time when I fell into the deepest abyss of my life, just lost my job, and everything seemed as collapsing. The pain is immense, and I feel like I'm stuck in the dark, never-ending tunnel. Every day was a struggle just to get out of bed. I wanted to get out of it, but then I came across the principle of Stoicism changed my view of pain as a teacher. At first, this seemed paradoxical, how suffering could teach me anything, but when I faced my pain, I began to see the lessons of it. Forced me to face my fears and insecurities, put the question of my worth and what really matters to. Pain become a mirror that reflects my deepest truths and urges, pushing me to grow in ways I never thought. Pain would eliminate outward things, require you to face yourself honestly, and don't be covered up in these moments of extreme discomfort. You find the world's true power of 10 tells us to avoid the pain of searching, find comfort and ease. But Stoics know that pain is the inevitable part of life. Instead of hiding from it, they accept it as an important part of personal development. Think about training physically. When you lift weights, you are tearing muscle fibers that cause pain, but it's this process that leads to muscle growth and raw strength enhancement. This rule also applies to the emotional and mental pain. It reacts you, but it also builds you up. Every moment of suffering as an opportunity to becoming stronger and more resilient. Tonight, when I felt completely sick, beat me sitting alone in my apartment, filled the feeling of failure. I felt the burden of the situation weighing on me, but in that loneliness, I began to see the lesson that pain brought me. It taught me about perseverance, patience, and humility. Reminded me that life's greatest lessons often come from difficult. Accept them. Your pain, let it be your guide, shows you where you need to grow and what you need to change. Don't paralyze it with distractions or run away from it in fear. Let's face it, learn from it, and let it shape you into a stronger and wiser person than the pain. It's not your enemy. It's a great teacher. Your best. And remember that the strength you gain from embracing pain, it is the power that will take you through the darkest hours. Lesson 2, the power of loneliness. In a world that celebrates constant connection, choosing loneliness may seem like an extreme act, but stepping back from the noise allows you to find clarity and strength from within. Lone lines is not extreme loneliness, but an opportunity to reconnect with values and goals in yours. When you feel like giving up, step back and embrace a stillness. This may be the strongest step you can take. There is a profound difference between being alone and being alone. I used to fear loneliness, thinking it was a sign of failure or social rejection. But it was during the most difficult times of my life that I felt isolated and cut off from the world, that I discovered the true power of loneliness. That loneliness provides a unique opportunity to reflect and rebuild. Without being influenced by the outside opinions and distractions, you have being able to listen to one's own thoughts and feelings, facing the fear of questioning assumptions, and rediscovering what really matters. You think about this, we're constantly bombarded with messages that we need to connect, sharing every moment, seeking recognition from others. But this can save or inner voice. Loneliness is an opportunity to turn off the outside noise and listen to yourself. It's not about being antisocial, but about finding balance and strength inside. Some of my most life-changing moments have come during the lonely periods when I lost my job. I felt abandoned and lonely, but instead of looking for distractions, I embraced loneliness. I hiked my thought diary and spent time meditating. It was in these moments that I found clarity and a new sense of the purpose of loneliness. Taught me to be comfortable with myself, facing my fears without the support of the constant presence of others. Precisely in loneliness, I made some of the most important decisions of life and found the strength to continue. Many artists, thinkers, and leaders, the greatness of the world, has sought loneliness as a source of inspiration and strength. They know that to truly understand themselves and their path, they need to step out of the crowd. Loneliness is not about withdrawal from life, but a deeper interaction with it. When you feel like giving up, it's important to step back and into loneliness, which can look like a paradoxical act in a world that values the interaction, is constant, but it can be extremely powerful. The loneliness allows you to recharge your central, finding energy and appear stronger, focused, more receptive to silence. And you can find the answers you're looking for. Lesson 3, let go of goals. Goals are often considered essential, but they can also become a burden when the goal starts to weigh on you. Perhaps it's time to let them focus on the process and the present moment. The Stoic believes in embracing the journey is more than just a destination. Letting go of rigid expectations will help you adapt and grow without the pressure of constant achievement. I used to obsess over setting goals. I have a list of visions and daily affirmations. I think that by setting clear and ambitious goals, I can control my destiny myself. But over time, I realized that my goals were becoming a source of anxiety rather than an inspiration. Every missed milestone felt like a personal failure. I was constantly stressed about trying to push the process, and when things didn't go according to plan, my confidence was shaken, lay this tired, and has started questioning the value of goals that should have pushed me forward. The harsh truth is that goals can become hackles. They can get you stuck in a vicious cycle of effort and frustration, especially when they are rigid and unrealistically stoic. Teach us to focus on what we can control or act. Ions and attitudes rather than the results that are often beyond our control. When I let go of the goals, my rigid magic happened. I started living in the moment and cherished in the journey itself instead of being obsessed with the end result. I focus on the process and doing my best every day and find joy in the effort. This change truly liberates letting go of the goal. Goal does not mean giving up ambition or accepting mediocrity. It means solving, releasing the pressure of concrete results, and embracing the flow of life. Is about setting intentions and working hard, but also being open to where this journey that leads you to flexibility allows growth and adaptation, makes you more resilient and less likely to feel like a failure than one. The deepest lesson I learned is that life cannot be predicted. No matter how meticulously planned, we cannot control every variable. By letting go of the rigid goals, we become interested in more suspicious and open to unexpected opportunities. We learn to trust the process and ourselves. Since I stopped obsessing over specific goals, I have found more peace and satisfaction in life. I still have dreams and aspirations, but I'm not bound by a specific timetable or outcome. I focus on what I can do each day to move forward and believe that the journey will lead me to where you need. Some of the most successful and happiest people to work along a rigid path. They open up to change, is willing to adjust and find joy in the process, and not just in their results. Understand that true success is about learning, growth, and resilience. When you feel burdened by your goals, take a step back from the need for concrete results and focus on the journey of embracing the present moment, of giving your all and believing that you are exactly where you are needing to. Let go of rigid goals can be the key to opening up a fulfilling life, more efficient and resilient. Lesson 4. Finding challenges is not comfort. Society often tells us to seek comfort and stay away from challenges, but the real strength that comes from facing adversity is not avoiding it, intentionally putting yourself in challenging situations to build resilience. The more you face difficulties, the stronger your comfort zone is. Enemies of development enter a storm ready, and you will discover your true potential. From a young age, we're taught to seek comfort. We're told to find work, stable living in safe neighborhoods, and surrounding yourself with thoughtful people like me. Comfort is promoted as an ultimate goal, but what if it told you that comfort can actually be a prison disguised as Shivan? Had a time in my life where I chose the easy path. It took a steady but uninspiring job, living in a safe but monotonous routine. I avoided the risk of thinking I was smart, protecting myself from failure and discomfort. But deep inside, it felt stagnant, passive. I was just existing instead of really living. Only when I started taking on the challenge of my life was starting to change. I remember signing up for a marathon event. I wasn't a person or running. The training was very difficult. And there were days when I wanted to give up, but crossed the finish line. That taught me more about your own strength and resilience than any comfort. Challenges you to grow, pushing you to your limits and beyond. As you intentionally seek out difficult situations, you build resilience, grit. You learn to handle stress and adversity gracefully. Comfort may keep you safe, but it will not make you strong. Think of the great figures in history. They did not achieve greatness by living comfortably. They sought challenges, take risks, and face key fears through struggles and difficulties. The way true greatness is formed, they understand that the path to success is rarely flat or easy, but it's always worth it when you choose to face the challenge. Or choosing the growth. You are saying you are willing to endure discomfort to become stronger, wiser, and more capable. This doesn't mean you have to be reckless or seek your own suffering, but rather to realize that the most worthwhile experiences often come from the most difficult journeys. One of the biggest challenges I've ever faced is starting my own business. It's a jump into the unknown, full of sleepless nights, financial pressure, and constant uncertainty. But it's also one of the most worthwhile experiences of my life. I learned more about myself, my strength, and adaptability than I ever could in a comfortable job. Facing challenges also teaches you resilience. Life cannot anticipation, and comfort can make us complacent. As you constantly challenge yourself to build mental resilience to help you face whatever life throws at you. More creative and more willing to seize opportunities when they arise. After you are faced with the choice between comfort and challenge, choose the path that pushes you forward. It will not be easy, but it will be worth. Remembering that diamonds are formed under pressure and potential. Your real life is the same. Look for challenge, not comfort, and you will unleash the power within yourself you never knew. Lesson 5. Separation from emotions. Emotions are natural, but they can also open up your judgment and weaken your resolve. The philosophy of Stoicism encourages separation from emotions, which does not mean becoming cold or indifferent, but rather master your response by mastering the emotions. You maintain to be discerning and powerful in facing adversity. Part is not to be indifferent, but to master myself once as slave of my emotions. When things don't work out, I will be angry, disappointed, or even desperate. My mood is like a roller coaster dominated by the turn of life. Was only when I discovered the emotional separation principle of Stoicism that I began to find peace and the true power of emotions that are a natural part of the humane experience. But when they control us, they can lead us astray from making decisions, intention to rush in anger, paralyzed by fear, or sink into despair when faced with obstacles. Stoicism teaches that while we cannot control external events, we can control our reactions to them. Separately from emotions does not mean suppressing them or resisting them. Stoic sensitivity is about being aware of your emotions at their source, and then choosing a reasonable response, that is the ability to maintain focus and calm, no matter what life throws at you. Whatever. I remember the part was especially difficult when both my personal and professional life seemed to be collapsing, and my initial reaction was to panic and let stress take over. But I decided to practice emotional separation. It started by recognizing my emotions without judging what I usually get, afraid of my anger and sadness. Then it took a step back and asked myself what control I could have in this situation. This change of perspective was truly transformative. Instead of reacting impulsively, I started reacting thoughtfully and became more focused, finding solutions rather than immersing myself in problems. Not only helps me overcome crises, also inspires confidence in those around me. To look at leaders and thinkers, great thought in their history is not without emotions, but they master them. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, faced enormous challenges, but his writings reveal a man who maintained inner peace, a reasonable separation. Nelson Mandela endured decades of imprisonment without letting the bitterness that took him emerge as a symbol of hope and reconciliation. Emotional separation is a skill that needs to be practiced. It begins with awareness of the triggers of your emotions and your reaction when you feel strong emotions are rising. Pause and breathe for yourself a moment to evaluate the situation. One way, reasonably ask yourself if this reaction helps me or hinders me. With another powerful technique, changing my perspective. Instead of viewing an obstacle as a disaster, see it as a challenge or an opportunity to develop. This change in mind can change your emotional response from despair. Become determined when you learn to control your emotions, and you become more resilient than you can handle. Reasoning frustration and even tragedy with grace and strength. You become a solid pillar for yourself and those around you. Emotionally separate is not about becoming cold, but about gaining emotional intelligence and control. Lesson 6. Become your own protector. Don't rely on others to confirm your worth or fight for you to stand up for yourself, even if it's uncomfortable. Self-protection is about recognizing your worth and asking for respect. That is taking control of your life instead of waiting for others to give you a chance. Be strong and decisive, and don't be afraid to speak up. Because I was the one who always waited for others to recognize my values and give me what I deserve. Whether it was a promotion at work, recognition from friends, or praise from my family, believe that if I just work hard, just and silently, good things will come to me. But the truth is that waiting for others to protect you of 10 leads to disappointment. The truth is that none will fight for you as strongly as you can fight for yourself. The world is full of noise and distractions, and if you don't assert your worth, it's easy to be overlooked or looked down upon. Being a protector of myself means recognizing my worth and making sure others realize it. 2. There was a moment in my career when I realized this. I was overlooked for a position promotion that I knew I deserved. Instead of silently accepting, I had to take action. I arranged a meeting with my boss and presented my achievements and contributions. My contribution and the reason why I believe I am the best candidate for that position was a stressful experience, but it worked. I received a promotion because I spoke up and gave my argument. Defending yourself is not just about career advancement, but also about setting limits in your personal life. Standing up against unfair treatment and making sure your needs are met. It's about being assertive in all areas of your life. This doesn't mean to be aggressive or disrespectful. It's about being clearly confident and be consistent about what you deserve. Many people, especially those who are naturally introverted or conflict avoiding, have difficulty protecting themselves. But it is a skill can be developed, starting with recognizing your achievements and strengths. Write them down. If you need to practice speaking up in small ways, though it's about sharing your ease in a meeting or expressing your needs in a relationship. The more you do, the more confident you will be to think about successful people you admire who are not getting to where they are by waiting for others to open the door for them. They knock on their own, and if not, hoping they find another way to get into them. My own greatest protector. This is a lesson I have seen many times in life of great leaders, entrepreneurs, and changemakers. One of the strongest perceptions you can have is that you are responsible for your own destiny, which means taking control of your life and not relying on others to push you forward. When you protect yourself, you control your story, become the author of your life, and not just a character waiting for something to happen. There will be times when self-protection feels uncomfortable. You may fear rejection or backlash, but that discomfort is worth it every time you stand up for yourself. You strengthen your self-worth and build your confidence. You send a message to the world and to yourself that you deserve respect and have the opportunity to protect yourself, which also means protect mental and emotional health. Yours is about saying no to the things that tire you and saying yes to the things that nourish you. It's about prioritizing your needs and not feeling guilty about putting yourself first. Remember that you can't fill from an empty. Self-protective coop is a form of self-care, dears. So the next time you find yourself waiting for others to realize your value or give you what you deserve, remember that you have the strength to protect yourself. Be strong, confident, and decisive. I'm a protector for yourself and control your destiny. As you stand at the crossroads, contemplating whether to give up or press on, remember that life's greatest triumphs often arise from moments of doubt and despair. It's in these pivotal moments that the philosophy of Stoicism offers a guiding light, powerful tool to help you not only endure, thrive. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions or becoming indifferent to the challenges you face. It's about embracing them, understanding that within every struggle lies the potential for growth, strength, and transformation. When you feel overwhelmed, Stoicism reminds you that you have control over your responses, even if you can't control the circumstance. This shift in perspective is transformative. Instead of being consumed by fear or frustration, you begin to see challenges as opportunities to develop resilience, patience, and wisdom. By focusing on what you can control, actions, your thoughts, your attitude, you regain power over your life. No matter how chaotic the world around you may seem, think about the times you felt like giving up before. What if, instead of walking away, you had paused, reassessed, and approached the situation with a stoic mindset? You might have discovered new strengths, forged deeper relationships, or uncovered paths you never knew existed. This is the essence of Stoicism. It teaches you that every obstacle is a chance to prove your character, to show the world and yourself what you're truly made of. Imagine applying this philosophy to your current challenge. Instead of seeing it as a roadblock, see it as a stepping stone. Instead of feeling defeated, feel empowered to rise above it. Stoicism doesn't just change the game, it changes the way you play it. It turns adversity into advantage, frustration into focus, and setbacks into setups for future success. By embracing Stoicism, you learn to navigate life's ups and downs with a steady hand and a clear mind. You become someone who is not easily shaken by external events, but who instead responds with calm, rationality, and purpose. This doesn't mean you won't feel pain or disappointment. It means you'll learn to use those experiences as fuel for growth, not reasons to quit. But before you decide to give up, ask yourself, have you truly given it your all? Have you tapped into the inner strength that Stoicism can help you cultivate? The path forward may not be easy, but with the right mindset, can lead you to places you never thought possible. Stoicism isn't about avoiding challenges. It's about facing them head-on, with the knowledge that every difficulty you overcome brings you closer to the person you're meant to become. The game isn't over, not by a long shot. In fact, with Stoicism as your guide, this could be just the beginning of a new, more empowered chapter in your life. Don't let the fear of failure hold you back from your true potential. Let Stoicism help you see that within every setback lies the seed of success, waiting to be nurtured by your determination and perseverance. As you move forward, remember that you have the power to change the game, no matter how daunting the obstacles may seem. With the principles of Stoicism by your side, you can face any challenge with confidence, knowing that you have within you the strength to overcome it. The journey may be tough. The rewards are immeasurable. So take a deep breath, embrace the challenge, and let Stoicism help you turn the tide in your favor. The game is yours to win.